Hi, this is my AP Lit final project. I am painting a scene from The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. It is a painting of Hans from the perspective of Liesel and Death. I reference two quotes which I have here in addition to my original concept sketch. I loved Hans. He was such an amazing character, but I'd have to say that Death was actually my favorite character. It was his narration that made it possible for me to imagine this scene and materialize it onto this canvas. And the two quotes that I'm referencing are, "The sky was red and turning, pepper streaks were starting to swirl, and I became curious. And I can promise you something because it was a thing I saw many years later, a vision in the book thief herself, that as she knelt next to Hans Huberman, she watched him stand and play the accordion. He stood and strapped it on in the Alps of broken houses and played the accordion with kindness, silver eyes, and even a cigarette slouched on his lips. He even made a mistake and laughed in hindsight. The bellows breathed, and the tall man played for Liesel Meiminger one last time as the sky was slowly taken from the stove." So you can see I'm trying to include some of the descriptive imagery that Death used. I have this red sky to emulate what he said was red and turning. I even added some, you can see, pepper streaks with the paint splatter, which I end up adding more of later. And I used a palette knife to swirl them, since that was a part of his description as well. Another quote that I had in my fiction analysis for this book was in one of the first pages, I think. Death talked about how a single hour can consist of thousands of different colors: waxy yellows, cloud spat blues, murky darkness. So this soup sky is one of many sky descriptions throughout the course of this book, and I really enjoyed every single one of them. I think as an artist, it was fun to have such specific and vivid imageries evoked in every scene. Here I'm painting Hans, and this is actually my first ever oil painting, so it was a new experience, and my AP art portfolio is due today as well, so I've been doing a lot of art this year. And as I continue working on Hans, I'm trying to create contrast between him and the background. He's found in this yellow orange kind of outfit, and the background sees red, gray, black. So his, not so much innocence, but the purity of his character and just his genuine kindness kind of surrounds him in how I'm trying to depict him. His skin is very gray. He has kind of like these green undertones. He's tired, he's wise, he has gone through a lot, so I tried to depict that here. And another symbolic element I tried to include was Liesel kneeling over Hans' body in the street ends up being one of the brightest elements in the end when the painting's all done. My experience with oil painting was pretty bizarre. I've never worked with it before, but I found that I really enjoyed the texture that I could create. I did a lot of palette knife details at the end, which I think really help finalize the emotion I'm trying to convey. It's a dark scene, it's chaotic, it's ominous. There are a lot of things that I wanted to have present, and here I go adding a couple more of those paint splatters for the pepper streaks that began to swirl. Overall, this book was just so amazing. Another quote that I have for Hans was, "Who else would do some painting for the price of half a cigarette? That was Papa, that was typical, and I loved him." That's just an encapsulating quote of his selflessness, and yeah, I hope I did him justice. This is the final product, and I definitely recommend The Book Thief to anyone looking to read some this summer. And I hope everyone's doing good. Happy end of the school year.